Recently, Derrick Rose spoke with GQ about how he's a little uncomfortable with the celebrity status that he has in his hometown, being the biggest star in Chicago. Here's what he had to say, you guys. Quote, "Sometimes it's too much. Chicago isn't used to stardom. Back when Michael Jordan was here, everyone used to actors and singers and people being at games, but there's been a drought since then. And even celebrities, they'll stop here to film a movie and then pop right back out. They don't know how to act towards celebrities, so I always have to have someone with me. I can have a hat on, glasses on, whatever, but people still notice me. If I go outside without a hat on, I feel like I'm naked. This life really doesn't fit my personality." Is this a good sign or bad sign, Stephen A.?
I think it's a very good sign, to be quite honest with you. And I'll tell you something right now. I mean, obviously, people like myself, Skip, and others on a much lesser level are somewhat, a celebrity, and it's a nightmare. It can be a nightmare. And, a lot of times you walk around there and you're literally looking evil and you are the happiest person in the world just because you don't want to invite people to come up to you and approach you.
That's a great point.
And so, agree. I do that a lot. I'm happier than a pig in mud, and I'll walk around with a frown on my face just so people won't approach me, because if one comes, that gives a license for 50 to come, and it's a nightmare. So if it's that way for somebody like myself, could you imagine what it is like for Derrick Rose, particularly in his home city of Chicago? But here's why I say it's a great thing. Derrick Rose is humble, he's quiet, he's non-assuming. All of those things are true. But the biggest thing about it is, look at what has happened to our world. We've got media whores all over the place. People did do anything for attention. Just read the tabloids, okay? So what happens is that when you have somebody, and not only that, the Twitter world and everything else, the more followers you build, the more you're able to market yourself, the more you're able to monetize your brand, quote unquote. These athletes particularly are very in tune with that stuff. And what has happened is it's become as much of a priority as doing their jobs and winning. With somebody like Derrick Rose, doesn't care about any of that. Doesn't want to be bothered with it. All he wants to do is play and live his life. He wants you to celebrate victories. He does not want you to celebrate him. He doesn't care about that. He's trying to win. And more importantly, it's incredibly important that he, of all people, is that way, because he's in Chicago, where you can't get, I don't care who you are, no one will get bigger, will ever be bigger than Michael Jordan. So as a result of that, you would fall short anyway if you tried to embrace all of that, pursue it, the celebrity and things of that nature. The fact that he thinks the way that he thinks is one of the more attractive commodities of his character. It's great that he is that way.
He's not seeking out the celebrity.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't care less. He just wants to play.
You say it's a good sign, Skip? Good or bad?
I loved everything you just said. It was good, deep insight, and I interpret it completely differently than you do.
Okay.
I think bad sign, because this kid, who's a great kid in this city, which is a great city, and I work there, are a bad fit for each other. He is a hometown hero all the way up. And all these quotes we just read in this article just spill with painful emotion of what he's going through in the city he loves and cares about so much, that he lives his life. He's obsessed with, he's tortured by trying to carry this team to a post-Michael Jordan championship. Just one championship. And it all speaks to why I don't trust him in the playoffs, because he tries to do too much. He's too good of a kid. He doesn't want to be famous. He just wants to go win a championship for his hometown, and it's eating him up. And the way it manifests itself during a game is he's going to dribble the ball up the floor, and he's going to shoot it 30 or 35 times, because it's all on his shoulders. And the city of broad shoulders, big shoulders, as they say in Chicago. His shoulders have to be the biggest, because he is going to shoot the basketball. If he's cold from outside, he's going to try to run through that brick wall of 3 people across the lane and just try to force it up to the rim. He wants it so badly, he tries to do too much. And it turns him into what from a distance looks like an egomaniacal gunner. But he's not. It's coming from his heart, but his heart's too big for his city. And all this is true, but remember, Michael thrived on that city. Michael was fueled by being a celebrity in Chicago. He ate it up. Come on, come all. He would go downtown before a game. He spent a lot of his time downtown because he could just walk down one sidewalk on Michigan Avenue, and it was like rocket fuel for him. And then he'd go to the United Center and just take another game over. So he fed off it, and this kid is tortured by it.
Well, you know what? It's interesting because I don't disagree with anything you just said. I think we're both on point here, you know, and it is possible to be that way. I definitely think that you're absolutely right in regards to what you were saying. But I also think that you have to pay attention to, if you're in your hometown and you do want to embrace it, it would be too much. And then it would be a distraction for all the wrong reasons.
Because then we'd be talking about that.
See, these are distractions for the right reasons. And I think it's a lot easier to elevate him to the level that he needs to be elevated to, coming from the place that he's coming from, as opposed to knocking him down off of some self-imposed pedestal he's put himself on. And that's where the difference is. Derrick Rose is the kind of guy, Skip, that is going to do whatever it takes. He could sit here and, let's say, for example, he's listening to you right now and he comes to the conclusion that you're right. He's the kind of kid that'll be like, okay, I'm going to change that. I'm going to do that. He's not caught up in himself that way. The key is to define a direct path towards him getting where he wants to go. And by the way, Paxson, John Paxson, Gar Forman, the general manager, Tom Thibodeau, the coach, when you look at the brain trust of the Chicago Bulls, they've been there, they've done that. And more importantly, again, the city embraces him. I think that they are equipped to handle it, and I don't think this is a bad thing.
Okay, so just final point, hypothetical. What if Derrick Rose played in, I don't know, Orlando? Would he be more comfortable with that
setting?
setting?
You think it's a hometown thing? You think that he doesn't like it because he's used to just going out in his hometown?
Would he feel less pressure to be that guy when he could, because he's extremely gifted in so many ways, but he doesn't always channel his gifts in the right path to win basketball games. So if you were in Orlando, let's say,
or is it just a personality
would he be a better
thing?
Player in Orlando because he'd be more comfortable?
It's a legit question. My response to that would be no. And the thing that I think that I think you have to understand is that Derrick Rose, the city of Chicago, does not believe he's not Michael Jordan. They look at the guy, he's 6'1". He's 6'2". That's how they look at him. They don't look at Michael Jordan 6'6", an aerial assault that's unrivaled, and you see what he did, and he just seems superhuman. They look at Derrick Rose as a big-time player. They're happy and lucky to have him. But they know that there are parts needed in order for the Chicago Bulls. So really, he's blameless in their eyes in a lot of respects. So the kind of pressure that he puts on himself is basically self-imposed. It's not necessarily emanating from someplace else. And as a result of that, again, I think he can handle it because that would be the case if he were on other teams as well. The problem is, when you talk about his heart, it's this desire to please his home folks and put pressure on himself that they're not putting on him.
I will submit to you, as a columnist for the Chicago Tribune for 3 years, I found the city of Chicago to be the single most passionate sports town in America. And I know
Philadelphia, I was a columnist for years. That'll rival Chicago.
I get it. I get it. But just to me, on every level for every team, the passion is off charts. And the city tends to devour its own by love its own to death because it creates so much pressure. And I agree, maybe the sophisticated fans sit back and say, well, he's only 6'1", but man, they want him to be Superman every night.
But the last line of his quote was, "This life doesn't fit my personality."
Yeah.
Jay Cutler's not staying in. He still goes out and is a public figure. There's different people.
but Jay Cutler, listen, the NFL is the NFL, but Jay Cutler is on a different and far less significant stratosphere than Derrick Rose.
But I'm equating it to the personality. Some people are not prepared for what stardom brings, and the stardom now is a lot different than when Michael Jordan was there, even just in our mass communication world, and everyone has a camera, phone, pictures, etc.
Yeah, well, remember, Jay Cutler's at war with the media half the time, so he goes another direction too. He's not loved.
But a different personality.
Last quick point.
Yeah.
What you just brought up is probably why LeBron didn't want to go to Chicago.
Maybe.
Because he definitely would have had expectations bigger than Derrick Rose has.